in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. My name's Rick Rousseau. I'm a stonemason. I'm going to show you in great detail how to build a stone retaining wall with concrete and steel. But before I do, I want to discuss the tools that you're going to require. Let's go to my supplier. Now that I'm at my supplier, let's have a look at the tools that you're going to require to build your rock wall.
Okay, that's what I got here. This guy's got a sample from somewhere, and it doesn't look totally smooth.
These are some of the tools available to you.
Too, do you?
25% lower, right?
Sure.
I want to show you the tools one more time that you're going to use. You'll need a level. You'll need masonry string line. You'll need a tape measure. You'll use a trowel. You'll use a pointing trowel. You'll use a club hammer. You may want to use a chisel for corners. You'll use a magnesium float like this one for doing your cap. You'll need an edger for edging your cap. You're going to need a shovel. You're going to use a pick, maybe. And a pry bar will come in handy. A cement mixer and a wheelbarrow are nice to have for the bigger job. Let's go back to the front and have a look at the wall we're going to build. This is the wall we're going to rebuild. It's just dry stacked, made of fieldstone. You can pick this rock up everywhere and anywhere. If you have grass like I do, cover it up. It'll make your cleanup quick and easy. Let's get started. Place your tarp to the edge of the stone wall. Or if you don't have a wall, place your tarp in line where you're going to build to cover your ground. Now that my ground is covered, I'm going to pull the wall down. You might want to wear gloves. I don't. Be sure you jump out of the way when the rocks come down. You don't crush your feet. It's a good idea to wear some steel-toed boots. So as you can see, I'm still clearing out the wall. Always keep your back straight, like I have here. Don't bend your back like this. That's how you're going to get hurt. When you're carrying a rock, keep your shoulders in line with these bones here. Move like this. Never twist and turn with the rock. That's how you hurt your lower back. I got to keep digging. Bar makes things really nice and easy to get out. Then you get down in here. Get these guys out of the way. Blow out with effort. Makes things easy. Whoosh! And wear safety glasses. Now that the wall is all knocked down, the next step is I'm going to put in my batter boards. I'm going to be using concrete, nice and rich like this, to surround my 2x4. Come on over, I'll show you how you do it. You're going to need a couple 2x4s for your batter boards, one at each end. check them out that they're straight. Now, we're going to use this 2x4 as our guide. We'll attach our string to it. You'll see in a minute. But we have to determine where the property line is. And it's right here. Now, I'm going to place this down here like this. This will become my face. This will be installed in concrete with a lean of 1 inch per foot. And this is how I do it. First, I want to put a shovel of cement down into the 12-inch hole. Just like this. Now, if you're working alone, you can take another board like this and put a nail into it at the top. If you have somebody to hold it for you, all the better. Now, the property line is right over here. This will become the face of my wall. I want a lean of 1 inch per foot. So, place some rocks into the hole to help you to keep the 2x4 stationed while you're going to put your concrete around it. But before you put your concrete around it, you have to determine your lean, and this is how you do it. Take your level, place your level to the butt of the level to the 2x4. Line your bubble centered over here. Now, measure from the bottom of the level up to 2 feet. I'm going to go 3 feet. So, my 3-foot mark is here. So the bubble's in the center. I will then move this 2x4 3 inches away from the 3-foot mark, and that's how I determine my lean of 1 inch per foot. I will then surround the 2x4 with concrete because I don't want this to move around. Surround your batter board with concrete. Fill the cavities. Be careful that you do not disturb the placement of your 2x4. I will gently pack this down. I want my batter board also to be level vertically. And I see that I'm a little bit off, so I just push it over here a bit and stomp it down. Because I want everything to be perfect. Now that you've set your batter boards up at each end of the wall, I'm going to show you how to mix cement. Come on with me. Now I'm going to show you how to mix cement. I use a concrete sand and I use a type 10 cement. The mix is 3 shovels of sand to 1 shovel of cement. If you don't have a cement mixer like I do, you can put 40 shovels on the ground, put a full bag of cement in, that's a 40 kilogram bag, and mix it up on the ground just like I've done over here. Now when you're mixing, let the cement fall over the other side of the piece and just keep turning it over like this. And from time to time, you'll make a hole at the top to add your water. If you don't want to mix on the ground, then you can mix in your wheelbarrow. 3 to 1. Put in about 12 shovels of sand to 4 shovels of cement. First mix the sand and the cement together, then add your water. Now this is how you check your cement. Stroke it down like this. Now you see that? You see how smooth and creamy that is? There's no sand particles. If you see sand, add some more cement. If it's too dry, add some more water. Mix it up until you get it just like this. See how it falls? You see that? That's what I want. Now I'm going to show you how to set up your string line. This is how I do it. This line, I want you to set it up at about 20 inches off of ground level, like this. This line goes across the back of the 2x4, which is actually my face, around the front, back under the first line, and then pinch this line over just like that. You see that? I got to show you again. Take your line, stretch it across the back of the 2x4, around the front, under the first line, and then pinch like that. And that's it. Now we're going to set it up at the other end. Come on with me. Now I'm at this end, I'm going to tie it the same way. watch closely. Around, which is my face, is the back of the board. Around and over like that. I want this line to be also 20 inches. 20 inches up here, so I'm going to move it up. Take it up like this, and then pinch it over top of the second line like that. That's it. Now, most stonemasons use one line. I may be the only one that uses two. So let's set up another line. This line, I want it to be 3 inches below the first. The same way around the back, over the front, and pinch. Just like that. Now let's take it down to the other end. Now remember, I mentioned in the beginning of the video to use a masonry string line. This line has got a bit of a give in it. You can stretch this out. We want these lines to be kept tight. I'll just go like this here on the rock. Cut that line. Now, approximately, it doesn't have to be measured out, approximately 3 inches down, around, under, and pinch. And there you go. The reason that I put up 2 string lines is most important for the bottom row. I'm going to look right over top of the lines, close one eye. When I line up the 2 lines, that's exactly where the perimeter of each stone will be placed in my wall. But for now, I'm ready to drop in my steel. So I'm going to use a 3mm steel rod here, and I'm going to place it down, closing one eye, and put it back in about 5 inches from the front of the wall. Right now, I'm just going to drop it in loose. I want to overlap my steel about 12 inches. Now, after I've dropped it in, I want to tie these 2 together. So I'm going to need some tie wire. Now, you've overlapped your re-rod like this. Take the tie wire, place it in here like this, wrap it around twice. Make sure you go tight, and then like this, and then twist. Okay? I want you to put in about 3 pieces of wire in here. Keep it tight and twist. And one more at the end here. Back it around. Okay. Now this rod is going to be like 1. Now you have a choice. Either you can block up your rod like this on some stone, or when you lay your cement on top, you can just pull it up into the cement like I do. Okay, now I'm ready to lay rock. First I want to start at this end. I'm going to find a corner rock. Let's see what we can find. You're going to need your club hammer, and you're going to need some safety glasses. This is the rock I'm going to use. Okay, brace your rock up like this with a chip. Now, from this point here to this point here, I want this to be straight. Now, if you don't have a chisel like I do, take your club hammer, take the corner of your club hammer and hit it on an angle like this. And that downward motion, just like this. Now, sometimes we're hitting rock hard and sometimes we're hitting it soft. When you're making a corner like I am, you don't want to be hitting it too hard. You actually may want to put your level across it or a straight edge and draw a line. I don't need to do that. I've been doing this for so long. I just use my eye. And there you go. Now, this is the perimeter of your stone. This is what is going to be placed in between those two lines, when you stand over the lines and you close one eye, you line up the two lines, and you place the perimeter of this stone in between those two lines. Now, this stone here is, the perimeter is a little bit off here, so I'm just going to take that down also. This is ready to go. So, now when lifting, keep your back straight. Pull the rock into your chest and lift. Just like that. Now, before you lay the rock, you've got your pile of mud in here. Bring it in, place the bottom in, close one eye and line it up. Line up and run down right along that edge right there. And that's perfect right there. Now, I'm going to take my trowel and I want to seal up the back of this stone. Take the cement and seal the rock just like that. Press firmly. Now, when you come into this kind of a situation over here, you want to place another rock. So, okay, place the rock just like this. We want a 90-degree angle. And seal that rock with the cement. Remember, you want to wear gloves. I don't wear gloves. Don't touch the cement with your hand. You'll get a burn. Then, if any dirt's come down, get rid of it. Can't build with dirt. Now what I want to do is I want to leave a drain pipe behind this rock here. So I'm going to put in my pipe like this. I'm using a 1.5-inch pipe. I don't want to have too big of an opening. So close one eye, line up the two lines, and get the edge of the pipe out like this. Clear the back, then you place some rocks over the back opening like this. When you're picking a rock, you want to just learn how to pick the face of the rock. Now let's look at this rock here. Now, you see this face is flat here, but then we got this big round side over here. This is no good, right? This is fairly flat in here. Now, this little bump here would be the face. You see this line here, this perimeter, and then it goes back like this and around. So I can put this rock in line, and it will have that protruding. It'll be a nice feature. Now, once again, close one eye. You see how I butt my legs up into my arms, and I can push also, get more pressure, to get more power. And that's it. Over in this opening here, I'm going to put a little rock, just like this. Now you can see I've laid a couple big rocks. I want to put something that's going to be standing up here because I want to break this line. So it's going to go up like this. Let's see what we got here. This one here will do nicely. So line up the two lines. Put the perimeter of the rock in between your lines. Have this rock close also. There's a couple ways that we're going to do the pointing. And seal the rock. Now, where you lay your drain pipe, be sure that that's going to be clear, because we're going to be putting drain rock in behind here. And we want all our drains to be working properly. Now you see the rocks that I've placed. Notice that the rock that I placed, the tallest rock is below my bottom line. Do not interfere with that line. If you're placing a rock that is higher than that line, raise up your string lines. So now I'm going to put another big guy in over here. I'm going to put a drain pipe in every 7 feet. So take your measurement and place it in. Closing one eye, line up the two lines, and then cover the back opening so that you don't get it all covered up while you're building. Just like that. Now, when you place a rock that's not so thick like this, what I want you to do, take some cement, place it there, then place a rock like this down like this, because I want the wall to be at least 10 to 12 inches thick, minimum. And seal all that up just like this. Then place another smaller rock like this, so that it's at the same height as this here. And then seal it up. Just like that. Put your hand in front of the joint like this, forcing the mud down like this. Sealing like this as you go. Push and seal. Again. And build it up just like that. Sealing the back. Don't forget every once in a while as you're moving along here to pull up the steel. That's all you got to do. Put some more cement on top and it's in there. Make your bed. Now let's see what we got. This rock here's got a face. But what do you see? You see the perimeter? And see this piece here? I'm going to take that off. Put on your safety glasses. I want to get all this dirt off here. Now, close one eye, The rock is perfect. But remember what I said, I want this wall to be 12 inches thick, 10 to 12 inches. So take this rock here, place it in behind here like this, and then fill it with concrete. Remember to seal the rock. We're going to have a much better bond by sealing by hand. Be sure that your cement is lower than the front of your stone to the top. We don't want anything interfering when we lay our next rock. Take your hand, put it in front of your joint, force it down, seal your joint. Seal the back of the rock. Place another stone behind here to beef it up. And fill it up with concrete. Now you see the space that I've got here? That's too big for me. So take a rock like this and your hammer, and you put it in. Now when you hit it in with your hammer, don't bounce the hammer off the rock. Hit the hammer in and keep it steady on the rock, like that, each time. So when it's placed to perfection, so that when we grout this up, when we do our pointing, that we'll have a nice, even space. Another trick is stick a holes in your drain pipe. Ensure that it's clear of any concrete. Just like that. Then you can wash your rock like this quickly. This is okay for the first roll. Off the second roll, you're going to want to use a brush. I'll show you how to use the brush a little bit later. See how thin this is? Once again, we build up the back. So I'll place that rock like this. But when I place the rock, I make sure it doesn't go beyond the front rock. I don't want it to get in the way. And fill it all up with concrete. If your rock is unstable, you can place a rock like this against it to dry overnight. Now you see when I got this big space here, want some cement down there, put that rock in like that and seal it up. Make sure that your cement is rich. Don't be cheap with the cement. Cement's cheap. This wall is going to be here long after I'm gone. Now when chipping a rock, make sure you put your safety glasses on. I want to straighten the perimeter of this rock out. You see how it bulges out here? I'm going to take that down just like this. See that? Then I'm going to place this rock. I'm going to make sure that I got my mud down. And we'll put it in. Close one eye, line up the two string lines, and put the face of that rock right in between. Look at the straightest wall money can buy. Now that my first row of rock is in place and every rock is sealed, I'm ready to put in my drain rock. Keep the rock back off the top of the wall. We need some more. See how I let the rock roll off the shovel just like that. I want the drain rock to be at least a foot deep. If you're building a wall and you've got a lot of water coming down, you can place drain rock right up to the top so that when the water hits the rock, it's going to go straight down and out through your drain. If you don't want the water coming out through the wall, then you can place a PVC behind the wall and drain it into one area. I got to get some more rock. Take your trowel and pull back the drain rock that's in the path of your wall. Keep the rock back. Now that your rock is in, you're ready for the second row. Raise up your string lines. Then go down to the other end and do the same thing. Now I'm going to show you how you determine where the height of your wall is going to be. Just put your level onto the bank and like this. Perfect. Keep in mind that we're going to be putting a cap on top of this. It's going to be about as thick as this level. Leveling off your line, take your level. I want this edge here to go to the line like this. Butt it into the batter board at this end so you can hold it with one hand. Center your bubble, and then the string line should run along this back corner of your level. If you have to adjust it, go down to the other end and adjust it till it's perfect. Put it in there, line up the two lines. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take a chip, something like this, put it under this rock like this to keep that rock in line. Close one eye, line up the two lines, absolutely perfect. Now that I'm getting close to the top of my wall, I don't need this lower line anymore because the perimeter of this stone will be what I will line up the top line with. So I'll take it down. I need a corner rock to go up over here. Now, this is the corner rock that I've chosen. Now you see, this is my face, this is the other side, this is the corner. Now you see this hump up here? This I want to take this off because it's going to interfere with my next stone. And I'm going to place it up here like this. Now, take your chip and chip it up. Brace it. Take your chip. Put it just like that. Take your level and check it out. These chips that you put in right now are just temporary. You'll be taking them out the next day after it dries. You're going to be looking for a rock that has this angle here. If your eye is sharp enough, you can find a rock to fit this space, just like that. Let's have a look around. You see, I've picked a rock here, and it's above my line. So I could either go pick another rock that's going to be below the line, But I like this rock because I got a nice joint here, so I'm going to chop that off. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take a pencil and make yourself a line so you know. I'm just going to take a picture of it, like that, chop it off. And for chopping this rock, I'm going to use a carbide chisel. It's a stonemason's chisel. You don't need to have this. They're kind of expensive. But if you're going to do a lot of stonework and you want to do some fancy stonework, then you're going to need this chisel and maybe some other chisels also that are available to you. So that's how you do it. You could also have a bench to cut on. I'm not doing a lot of cutting on this wall, so I don't need the bench. Now I'm going to wash this rock off. Now that I've washed my rock off, I'm going to place it in. Just like that. I don't need to put a chip in here. If I needed the chip, I'll put it in. Seal up the back. Now when I place this rock, I got a little space here, but that's okay. That's going to be filled with cement. There's also going to be the cap on top of this. When you get to the top of your wall, I don't want it to be a foot thick at the top, because all I want to see is that cap. So keep the thickness from the top down 5 inches down, so that that's going to be covered with your earth or whatever you're going to cover with. Just like that. Be sure that nothing's in the way of your line. Now, when you're building your wall, be sure that you fill the face up as you go up. Don't get ahead of yourself. Now, you see the space right in here? That tells you the space of the rock, the shape of the rock that you want to see. Something like this. So place it in. Remember what I told you about? Hit the rock in and stop. Don't bounce off the rock. Okay, then take that, seal it up. See that? Just like that. Okay, once again, when you're laying the rock, line up the bottom of the rock first. Then, just like this, and then, if you need the chip, put a chip in. As you can see, I don't need the chip. And seal it up. When you're laying your rock, start at one end and work to the other end. Probably your rocks are going to be smaller than the rocks that I'm using here. Now a rock like this can be made by taking your sledgehammer, standing up your rock, and taking the corner of your hammer, busting off a piece like this. And just like that. That's how easy it is. Take your pointing trowel. Doesn't have to look exactly like this. This is the one I'm using. Scrape out the mud like this. We got a close-up here, please. Take out the cement, all of the edges of the stone, just like that. Don't be scraping out too deep. Just as deep as you want your final joint to be. I'm not worried about the space in here. I can fill that in my next dig. Now I'm going to show you how to joint up your wall, like this. Start at the bottom. Now you're only using this much of your pointy trowel, this much here. Hold your trowel full of mud like this, up to where you're working. Press firmly. Now, if you want to do a smooth finish, press hard and keep the edge of the trowel to the edge of the stone. Now, the pointing should all be level. You shouldn't have it dipping in and out. Now when you're pointing, you're going to use just this much of your pointing trowel. Press firmly, press the edge of the trowel to the edge of the rock, just like that. When you're doing your pointing, don't grab your pointer like in your fist. Just have it in your fingers like this so you can move it around. Now, when you're pointing, keep the tip of your pointer in line with your elbow, just like this. So if you want it smooth, you can make it smooth. Scrape off the excess cement. If your cement is too wet, you might want to let it sit up for a bit and then come back to it. And don't work your cement too much because you'll bring up the sand. Now, this is the finished product here. Now you can do this finish or you can do a brush finish. And here's how you do it. Pack your joints and then scrape the joint back. Then take a brush like this, dip it in the water, shake the water off. Brush the joint. And you can get that smooth finish. Afterwards, you can come with a sponge and clean off your rock. And there you'll have a brushed joint. Now that the wall is in, I'm going to show you how to make the form for the cap. I'm using a 1x4. You can use a 2x4 or a 1x4, whatever you like. Here's how you do it. Line up these ends like this. I'm making it 5 inches wide. So measure over here, 5 inches. I want it 5 inches at each end. Your form's going to look like this. After making your form, place it on the top of your wall. Have the front of the form in line with the face edge, with your pointed edge. And fill it up. Take your float. First, seal the front edge, like that. Take your edger and run her down. After doing so, slide your form forward and up and out. After completing a section of cap, take your pointing trowel and smoothen out the line that was left by the edger. After doing so, scrape off the excess cement on this edge and then place your form overlapping 12 inches onto the cap and continue creating your cap down the wall. And that's how you do it. Good luck.